Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. We're going to do a sponsored video today. And if you want a sponsored video, if you want a reaction, if you want me to look at the financial statements of a stunk, if you want me to rant about anything, then you pay me $50, see the pinned comment below, and you get a personalized, anonymized video. Give me your freaking money. Anyway, we're going to talk about Opendoor Technologies. And I have been compensated to look at the financial statements of this stunk. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, this thing is a steaming pile of garbage. So if you wanted the freaking summary, there you have it, okay? So Opendoor, what does Opendoor do? Well, they have doors and they open them. I'm just kidding. Opendoor operates a digital platform for residential real estate transactions. It buys and sells homes. The company's product offering is comprised sell to Opendoor product that enables homeowners to sell their home directly to it and resell the home to a home buyer. List the product that allows customers to list their home in the MLS, blah, blah. Basically, they buy houses and then they sell houses, okay? These things got absolutely shellacked because the housing market went freaking crazy. Interest rates were rock bottom. I bought a house in 2020. And I'm better than you because I have a 2.89% interest rate. Everybody was buying houses. Okay. Buy. And this company was making a killing, you know. Buy, demand, vertical lines. And then all of a sudden, the Fed raised interest rates. And when interest rates go up, the price of your mortgage, or new mortgages, not your current mortgage, new mortgages goes up. So less people buy houses. Okay. So now this freaking company, they bought a bunch of homes. They were sitting on them. And now the housing market is not doing as well, okay? But basically, you go on a website. I almost went through the process, but I was like, I don't want to deal with these clowns calling me. You go to the website, you put in your contact information. Some doofus calls you. You get a cash freaking, you get a quote. They charge a fee, you know, and they basically buy your freaking house. Which is fine. I think they use financing to do that, which is interest. Interest rates are higher. And then they eventually, hopefully, maybe sell the house at a profit after they fix it up. Is this what me, Kevin, is doing? This is a horrible business. Okay, this is a very risky business. Wow. But hey, I would rather go with these people than Meat Smoker. I'm going to say that right now. Okay. So, what's going on with the housing market? And now I am Christopher Bell, and I am a housing market expert. I know everything there is to know about the housing market because I bought a house 4 years ago. So, one thing that you'll see is over the past 5 years, existing home sales have gone up because of interest rates, and then they went freaking down. Somebody just messaged me. And then interest rates went up. Home sales went down. Okay, so you can see we're as low on home sales as we were at the bottom of the pandemic. So homes aren't selling as much, and it makes sense. Why would you sell your home if you have a 2.89% interest rate? I will never sell this house ever. What am I going to do? Sell this house and go buy one with the 7% interest? No, I'm staying right here. Okay. And that's kind of what's going on. So that's one thing. We know mortgage rates are up, okay? That makes homes way more expensive. Like my neighbor, I'll make another video about this. They freaking bought a house and they sold it within a year. Like, God, it's brutal. They got shellacked, okay? And, of course, the housing price index. So here's the funny thing. Here's what you should be paying attention to with this company. This company buys homes. They remodel them. They improve them, and then they sell them. Am I sharing my screen? Make sure I'm sharing my screen. That's what they do. What do you notice about home prices? They've almost flatlined. The index is almost flatlined. What if it starts going down a little bit? It's possible. The home price index could start going down a little bit. I mean, I'm sure it's happened before. I mean, homes don't have to go up forever, okay? But even if they only go down temporarily, that could potentially hurt this company because if they bought a bunch of homes up here, which I think they did, and then home prices start to go down, they may have to sell at a loss, so their margins aren't going to be as good. So I'm just putting that out there. I mean, if you look at the existing home sales, the amount of sales, it basically mirrors the freaking stock, okay? When people are buying and selling homes, this company makes money, hopefully, because they They buy, they remodel, and they sell. Okay? But when they don't sell, when they have trouble selling, suddenly they have all these freaking homes on their books that they own, that they have to pay for, that they're financed. That's a problem because you have all these freaking homes you have to maintain that you can't sell, and you're paying interest because you borrowed money to freaking buy them. Okay, this is like ridiculous. This isn't risky at all. Look at the beta of the stock, 2.7. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the 10Q. So this is the most recent quarterly report for this amazing company. Oh, before we do that, let's look at the overall performance of the company's profits. Okay, first of all, revenue. Obviously, revenue went up massively, bunch of home sales, and then it dropped because interest rates went up. People stopped buying as many homes, et cetera, et cetera. So their gross margin, their profit on the homes, is hovering around 8.5%. Okay, that's the profit just from selling the homes before anything else. Their operating margin, they only made 2 quarters of operating profit. This is profit before interest, taxes, and one-offs. 2 quarters in the last 5 years. Profit margin, also 2 quarters, barely profitable for 2 quarters. The rest has been loss, loss, loss. Free cash flow margin, okay, they had a couple quarters of free cash flow in 2022, 2023. That's it, okay? But other than that, they've been a cash-burning business. Let's look at their overall operating cash flow. Okay, so they've had more quarters than not of negative operating cash flow. I would be concerned, like if home prices, if the home price index stays flat or goes down, how much money can they make off of reselling these houses? You're basically praying that interest rates get massively slashed and people start buying freaking homes. That's what you're praying with this company. And the whole time the homes don't get sold, they're incurring charges, expenses on those homes, but whatever. So, all right, let's look at the financials. What do we got here? We got $790 million of cash, $121 million of restricted cash, and $19 million of marketable securities, and 24 of escrow receivable. So basically, their liquid capital is, let's just add this up because I suck doing math in my head. 790 plus 19 plus, I guess we'll throw an escrow receivable. They have $833 million of liquid cash on hand. The rest is basically home inventory. When this company buys and sells homes, so the inventory is the homes. And they have $393 million of short-term debt due within a year. So they have enough liquid capital to pay these accounts payable and these non-recourse asset-backed debt. Okay, this asset-backed debt is what they use to like finance their freaking homes. Okay, they don't just have enough cash to scoop up all these houses. They have to borrow money to buy the houses. But the vast majority of their short-term assets, look at the growth in real estate inventory. They've been added, man. This is between December 31st, 2023 and June 30th, 2024. They added a lot of freaking inventory. Okay. What's the difference there? 2234 minus 1 was. They added $460 million that they've used to purchase inventory within the last 6 months as the home price index is flattening. Okay. Let's look at long-term debt. Non-recourse asset-backed debt, net of current portion, $1.7 billion. So their total debt, non-recourse debt, is $2 billion. And their inventory is $2.2 billion. So at least they, they have a ton of debt they're paying interest on, but, I guess once they sell this real estate inventory at an 8% margin, they're going to, make so much cash flow that they're going to be able to pay off the debt and buy new homes. Wow. But I guess they're not underwater when it comes to financing the inventory. Now, if they had more short-term debt, like that they used to borrow to buy, that they borrowed to buy these homes, if they had more debt, short and long-term debt, than the value of the homes, that's not good. Okay. And then they have these convertible senior notes of $377 million. So basically their balance sheet is mostly the homes and the money they've borrowed. And out of the money they borrowed, only $315 million is due within a year. So there's not like imminent bankruptcy that's coming due. at least in the next year. All right, let's see. Accumulated deficit, they've been recording losses. Shocker. All right, let's look at the income statement. So revenue is down year over year by 23%. That's amazing. And gross profit is down as well. Oh, but they slash selling and marketing expenses. So they're almost their entire gross profit is eaten up by selling, marketing, and operations expenses. And then basically all of it and more is consumed by general and admin. Wow. You know what that means? They have more expenses than gross profit. That means they have a loss from operations. I mean, that's not a good margin. Like, I mean, I don't know what regular home selling margins are, but come on, like 8% margin. Their margins are not high enough to cover their freaking costs. These other stupid costs they have. And they got 30. So, okay, look. So let's see. Interest expenses was $30 million in the last 3 months. Oh man. I'm surprised they don't put the interest expense as part of cost of goods sold. Because like that's they or maybe they partially do because they're taking out debt to buy homes, fix them up, and then resell them. Wouldn't the interest expense be allocated to the cost of the inventory? I mean, that would make sense to me, but I'm stupid. Okay, so they have a loss per share of 13 cents. And how much of their shares gone up in the last year? %7 increase in shares outstanding. Okay. Why are they giving out shares? So between March 31st, 2024 and June 30th, 2024, they gave out 10 million shares of common stock for settlement of restricted stock units and 84,000 in millions, except number of, okay, I guess 84,000. And then 84,000 additional shares. So they basically gave out 10 million shares for restricted stock units. Basically employee stunk-based compensation in the last 3 months. Wow. Okay. So you're getting diluted by employees for a company that loses money. Okay, let's see. Man, they're really piling money into inventory. So the big difference in operating cash flow. So you see they have negative operating cash flow of $577 million. So if you compare the 6 months into June 30th, 2023, they had a net inflow from basically dumping a bunch of real estate of $3.2 billion. And in the last 6 months, they've spent $498 million building up their inventory. Now, are they building up their inventory because they're anticipating a drop and they're going to be able to dump a bunch of houses and sell them? Or are they building up inventory because they can't freaking sell the houses? I don't know. Okay, so we see there's these inventory valuation adjustments. These are added back. What is this? So an inventory valuation adjustment, one way you can look at it is you look at a house's cost, what you paid for it versus its market value. It's called like the lower cost of market method. And if a home's value drops below the market value, drops below the cost, you have to write the home down because you're not going to sell it. What you have on the books is not what it's worth. So when you see valuation adjustments, that means they're writing down the inventory because the value of the inventory is dropping. So while revenue has gone down, valuation adjustments have gone up when you compare the 6 months for each year. But the big difference in cash flow is inventory. That's the big difference in cash flow. So they burned $577 million basically buying inventory that hopefully they can sell. And that's basically it. I mean, they had some net change in debt, but nothing crazy. This is a disaster. I mean, this thing, like, if they massively cut rates and the home market went crazy, you know, this thing could be fine. But I mean, you're betting on something that's inherently unpredictable. Like, oh, wait, there's going to be rate cuts, bro. Okay, well, how much are they going to be? Are they going to materially impact the housing market? If we cut rates 25 basis points, how many more homes are going to be sold? I mean, what if inflation comes back? Then they bought, like, and this is what concerns me the most. Look at the index. Look at the home price index. They bought a ton of inventory up here, and now it's starting to go down. If you bought inventory and then the home prices go down, you're not going to make a lot of money reselling it. And the whole time you're not selling it, you're paying interest and just the cost of freaking holding a house, taxes, all that garbage, insurance. This is very risky. But watch, rates will vertical line and whatever. Okay, look at so here's their inventory breakdown. So work in progress is homes they've bought that they're fixing up. So for December 31st, 2023, they had $640 million worth. And as of June 30th, 2024, they have $406 million of work in progress. So that's about a 33% drop, right? 33% drop in homes they're working on now. And the homes listed for sale has gone up. Are they having trouble selling, maybe? That's a $1.3 billion of cost of homes, of inventory is listed for sale versus 882. Okay, they have their money in money market funds. Wow. Their cash. Revolve. Okay, look at these interest rates, man, on these credit facilities. 8%. Okay, these are lower. These aren't bad. 10%. Asset-backed mezzanine term debt. Jesus. Yeah. So this is basically the interest rates they're paying, depending on which facility they access to buy the homes. So the more homes on inventory, the more interest they're paying. Let's see. What's most of their debt in? Okay. So this is December 31st, 2023. Current. Okay, so they're borrowing on the 8% line and the 8.29. So they're mostly paying like probably an average of like 6-7% interest on their current borrowings. And then their non-current, their longer term borrowings are at 3, 3, and 4. So it makes sense. Shorter term borrowings they're paying higher interest rates. What a great business. Is this what Meat Smoker's doing? Except he's having y'all just contribute your money, so he doesn't have to borrow anything. Probably. He's just using your money to do the same crap. But, whatever floats your boat. So, this is very, I don't know. I mean, like I said, this is very speculative. You're basically hoping rates come down. You're hoping they didn't overinvest in inventory. You're hoping they can dump a bunch of inventory at higher margins. But with the housing price index flat, like that's concerning. I don't know about y'all. To me, that would be concerning if I'm in the business of buying and selling homes. And I bought a lot of homes up here, and now it's flatlining and starting to go down. Let's see. Woo! Are you grifting? I sure hope. Oh, I'm grifted. Just to remind y'all, this was a sponsored video. I was paid $50 to look at this company's financial statements. If you want a sponsored video, see the pinned comment below the conclusion of this video. $50 for a personalized and anonymized video. Check out my book, Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's on Amazon. It's amazing. And if you want a one-on-one tutoring session with a certified public accountant, $75 an hour, which is actually very cheap for a CPA. Strongman Finance. Hi, Bacon. Everybody saying hi to each other. Planet 13. Bro, this will 10x. Oh, it's guaranteed, bro. Guaranteed it's going to 10x. It would be a 10x company 10 to 20 years ago. Today, no. 1.4. Do you know when they purchased the homes? I mean, you can kind of look at the cash flow statement, and it doesn't show like, or if it shows how much they spent on homes. Actually, I think they did say that somewhere. Hold on a minute. You might be onto something here. Let me share my screen. I thought I saw that somewhere. Legal matters. Okay, this is them going over their margins. I thought they said how much they spent purchasing homes. I think the average cost they spent was like $335,000 per home, but I don't know where they put that. I swear I saw that. Revenue, operating expenses, liquidity, facilities. Jesus. Real estate inventory net. I know they said it. I'm not sure where it is. But I know they spent an average. I remember I'm doing the math. They spent on average $335,000 per home. I think they bought, it wasn't a lot. It was like maybe a couple thousand. Hold on. 1,7. Thought it was like 1,700 or something like that. Oh, here it is. As of June 30th, 2024, the company was in contract to purchase 1,793 homes for an aggregate purchase price of $607 million. So that's the current contracts they're in. But it isn't, I can't find, or I can't see right off the bat how much they purchased. But, I mean, we know their inventory has gone up. We know their inventory went up by, let's see, the net increase in inventory went up by like, what, 450 million? So, or 490 million, something like that. So that's been a huge increase in inventory for just 6 months. So those are the net purchases. So it's definitely piling up on their books. And you can see they have a bunch of homes listed for sale, much more than prior, because they're probably having trouble freaking selling them. But whatever. I'm not a broke loser, but we're all broke losers, okay? That the first thing you have to do is accept it. The second thing you have to do is buy my book. Third thing you have to do is give me money for a sponsored video. Well, since I'm a politically correct man, Ukraine. 1.4 to fill a gap for a bottom before the pump. Sure, whatever. All right, that's Opendoor. Check out the pinned comment. Send me money. Have a wonderful day. Cheers.